We meet a whole lot of people who say the same thing. We absolutely love the character in these older homes, but we also want an open kitchen, those super great bathrooms like the ones on Pinterest, and easy day-to-day living.
Today, we're going to walk you through how these two things actually can come together in three of San Antonio's most beloved neighborhoods: Alamo Heights, Terrell Hills, and Olmos Park.
So we're going to talk about the architecture, the renovation styles that really work best in these older homes.
And what buyers are really paying a premium for right now. We're Caroline with Park Properties Group.
Susanne with Park Properties Group.
Here at the Phyllis Browning Company. And we love helping our buyer and seller clients walk through and understand the neighborhoods.
These three special neighborhoods. If you've already lived in one of these neighborhoods, or you might be thinking about buying here, this is really going to give you some practical way to think about your home or your future home, kind of how you should think about your wish list, and also how to budget for purchasing or maintaining one of these homes.
If you stay with us to the end, we're going to give you a simple checklist you can use to understand how your home stacks up in today's market. Let's start with a little context. Alamo Heights, Terrell Hills, and Olmos Park sit just north of downtown San Antonio. They were developed in the early 1900s when people wanted to be close to the city, but still enjoy more space, more trees, and more privacy. I think that stays the same.
Yeah. So were they riding their horses?
I think they might have been, or Model Ts.
Model Ts. Need to check our history. So they were never meant to be cookie cutter suburbs. They were designed as individual homes on individual lots with real architectural personality. And over the years, these areas attracted professionals, military families, business owners, and people who really value neighborhood identity. A lot of our military people who are stationed here actually elect to retire here.
You can see it in the tree canopies, the street curves, and how each house is different from one another.
So there is a true sense of history and continuity here that you don't always get in those newer neighborhoods. And that's really why these are considered prestige neighborhoods.
You've got a prime location, you've got limited inventory, and you've got homes that feel special from the moment you pull up to the curb.
Even when the broader market shifts, we have seen historically that these three pockets tend to hold demand because you can't just go build another Alamo Heights, Terrell Hills, or Olmos Park somewhere else.
Now let's talk about what makes the homes so special, what they really look like, because that's usually what draws people in first. Across these three neighborhoods, we tend to see three buckets.
Okay, so the classic is the 1920s to 1940s cottage. The larger estate homes, we definitely have those here. And then the mid-century ranches. The cottage and early estates are what most people picture when they think of Alamo Heights or Olmos Park. You're going to see those beautiful front porches and detailed entryways, gorgeous original wood floors, built-ins, stucco stone or brick exteriors with really interesting roof lines.
Inside, the original layout is often more formal. Smaller dining rooms, separate breakfast nooks, and a kitchen that was never meant to be the main gathering spot. The larger estates take that charm and scale it up. You might have a grand staircase, a formal living room, and a separate library or den, and larger lots with more privacy and more mature trees.
So these are the homes that really showcase the history and stature of the area. When people say, we really want an old San Antonio home with presence, it's often one of these they're thinking about.
Then we have the mid-century ranches, which I love, especially in parts of Alamo Heights and Terrell Hills. They are usually single-story, long and low, with big front windows, often with an attached garage or carport.
So inside the ranch homes, they often started with more defined rooms, but really if you compare them to the 1920 homes, they already feel a bit more casual and livable. Buyers who want fewer stairs and a more relaxed floor plan will tend to gravitate towards this type of house. And when they're updated well, they can be incredibly comfortable.
And then there's newer construction.
Mm-hmm.
Over time, some of the older homes have been replaced or dramatically expanded. The new builds that do best here are the ones that respect the street. They're scaled appropriately. Yes. And they use materials that blend in, and they don't feel like they've just been dropped in from a totally different neighborhood. If
If you follow that formula in your building, you'll do really well. So these homes do command a very strong price because you get new systems, the modern layouts, and better efficiency inside a legacy neighborhood. So how are people updating these homes today? Well, most of our buyers are saying, we love the charm. We just need it to function for our lives. So you'll see a few renovation themes over and over.
The kitchen is a big one.
Absolutely.
I mean, always. When we meet with buyers, it's always kitchen.
Kitchen.
Originally, kitchens were more of a workspace. Today, buyers want them to be the heart of the home. That usually means opening or widening the walls between the kitchen and the living space, adding an island with seating, and improving the sight lines to the backyard.
So when this is done thoughtfully, not just knocking out walls for the sake of it, or putting up a room that blocks your sight line to the exterior backyard, the home keeps its character but lives much more like a newer build. And the next big area is outdoor living because these neighborhoods have such beautiful trees, and established yards, and the outside space is really a huge part of the lifestyle. We see a lot of covered patios, outdoor kitchens or grilling setups, fire pits, pools, and really just comfortable and inviting seating areas.
And then there are additions. The more successful ones tend to be at the back of the home, adding a family room or primary suite, or carefully adding a second story where it makes sense. The proportions matter a lot. If the addition overwhelms the original house, the buyers can feel that right away.
Pet peeve of mine. And then there's the balance between old and new. So the renovations that really resonate with our buyers are usually keep original hardwoods where possible. They save interesting built-ins and fireplaces. And they use updated finishes, but not something so trendy that it'll feel dated in a few years.
When a home feels like it still belongs to an area, but it functions like a 2026 home, that's where we see the strongest response and the strongest prices. Let's talk about what actually drives price right now in Alamo Heights, Terrell Hills, and Olmos Park. Every home is unique, but we see the same themes over and over when buyers are deciding what they're willing to pay. First, the lot and the street. Location.
Absolutely. People have some strong biases for a block on a street.
Yes. For a yard that's unusable, maybe it's sloped or it's all pool, those don't do as well. And for they want mature trees and good shade.
Because it is hot in Texas. Not right now, but typically. So we like good curb appeal here. That's huge. A home that looks loved from the street gets more showings and better offers than a similar house that feels tired from the curb. Second, the layout and the level of updating. Most buyers want a bedroom and a bathroom count that makes sense for the size of the house. They want a real primary suite, not just a slightly bigger bedroom, and they want a kitchen that feels current and definitely connected to everyday living spaces.
A home doesn't have to be magazine perfect. But if buyers can feel like they can move in and live comfortably without tackling major projects right away, that's where you see the stronger competition. And then there are the extra features that push a property into that top of the list category. Things like a guest house or casita, a dedicated office or flexible space, a real garage, especially it's a 2-car garage, and a well-done pool and outdoor area that still leaves yard space.
Those are really important. So when people can picture where they'll work, where guests will stay, we just got over the holiday, so people have that fresh on their mind, and how they're actually going to use the backyard, they're more willing to stretch for that property. If you already own a home in one of these neighborhoods, you might be thinking, okay, so where does my house fit in with all of this? We've walked clients through a simple framework that you can use on your own.
First, curb appeal. Makes sense?
Yes.
When you stand across the street, does your home look like it's well cared for? Is the landscaping tidy? Is the front entry welcoming?
Second, the floor plan. Do the main living areas, do they flow or does it feel choppy? Is there a clear kind of heart of the home where people naturally gather?
Third, big one, updates. Is your kitchen closer to charming and updated or someone's next project? Some questions for your bathroom, like You don't need everything to be perfect, but you do want to know honestly where you stand.
That's right. So here's how we'd sum it up. If you've got a great street, beautiful trees, and strong curb appeal, you're starting from a very good place.
If you've also opened up the floor plan a bit and invested in kitchens and bathrooms, you are competing at the higher end of the market for your category.
And if you layer in those extras like outdoor living, maybe a guest suite, office, or pool, you're often looking at the group of buyers who will pay a premium to get into your specific street and your specific home.
So we know we have plenty of buyers that are looking for that.
Yes.
If you don't have all of that, that's okay. It just means the strategy needs to reflect reality in pricing and in presentation and in who we're trying to attract.
Yes. So that's our overview of how historic charm and the modern living come together in Alamo Heights, Terrell Hills, and Olmos Park. So from architecture and renovations to what really drives value right now.
If you're thinking about buying a house in one of these neighborhoods, we're happy to help you sort through what's worth paying for and where you can compromise.
And if you're considering selling, we can walk you through this same checklist in person and give you a clear, honest opinion of where your home sits in today's market. And we do that based on our decades of experience and using current statistics of the market.
We're Park Properties Group at the Phyllis Browning Company here in San Antonio, and our contact information is in the description.
If this was helpful, you can please like, subscribe, or just share it with someone who's been talking about moving into one of these 3 neighborhoods.
Thanks for spending some time with us today. We'll see you in the next video.